had. The moment you tell me that the Father is fully God and the Son is fully God and there's only one divine nature, it means that each one of them instantiates that nature fully. So each one of them is God. Okay? The moment you have that, there's no more one God anywhere. That one God that you're saying is vague. You can say they are one in action. They work together. All those things doesn't make them one God. It makes them three gods working together.
ولا تدع مع الله إلها آخر لا إله إلا هو كل شيء هالك إلا وجهه له الحكم وإليه ترجعون.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah wa alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Welcome guys. After this video, I hope you'll be able to understand some of the languages that they use when they defend the doctrine of the Trinity by most Christians, okay? Especially the ones you're going to meet, like the apologists and the normal Christians. They don't really understand deeply, but on the surface level, at least after this video, you can continue doing your research from there. But I want you to just get it, like, this is what they're talking about, okay? Now, we're going to discuss two concepts today. General essences and individual essences, okay? So, general essence, individual essence, what do they mean? If you understand these two concepts, you will see why it is problematic for you to say three persons and one being, okay? If you say three persons and one being and you don't understand general essences and individual essences, you don't know what you're talking about, okay? So, after this video, ask yourself, do I know the meaning of general essence? Do I understand the meaning of individual essence? Then, once you do, you choose a position that you take on it. Okay? Now, so a general essence, what is general essence? General essence are things like, what's it called? By the way, before I even go into that, remember, when you say the doctrine of the Trinity, this is like three gods. What do the Christians say? No, we have three persons and one being. We are not saying three beings and one being. We are saying three persons and one being. They always say that, okay? So that's why you need to work from that. You need to ask them what is the meaning of person and what is the meaning of being, okay? Once they define it, they will probably say, the person is what makes you who you are, your identity. And the being is what makes you what you are, okay? So that part, what you are, this is metaphysics. Okay, a metaphysical question, and we need to see what do people understand by this term, whether in the past or present. Okay, I'm going to go over all of that, inshallah. So now, general essence, you understand it. See, by the way, all the things I'm going to tell you, you already know them. Okay, you just maybe have not formulated it well, but after this video, I hope you'll be able to understand. So when you say essence is what the nature of a thing, what makes the thing the way it is. Okay, that is the nature of a particular thing. Okay, so now general essence is an essence that is multipliable. Okay, it can be in many places at the same time. It's shareable. It's something that can cover many individuals. Okay, that's general essence. I'll give you an example now. For example, humanity. Okay, humanity is a general concept for all humans. Okay, let's say there's something called dogness. Okay, or felinity. Felinity is what makes, for example, a lion, a cat. They are all cats, right? We have big cats and small cats, right? But they are all cats. You see, there's a way we can generalize a concept over them. Okay, so that is general essence. General essence, for example, I'm a human, you're a human. Why? Because we have a particular thing about us that the same what applies to both of us. So what makes this guy what he is the same for both of us. That's why we say we are humans, okay? So humanness, our human nature, that is our general essence. Such that I have human nature, you have human nature, everyone has human nature. It can be as many as possible, and it can be one. It can be as many. It doesn't matter. That is general essence. If you want to think about it in another way, another abstract way, redness, okay? There's red everywhere. See, there's red in this chair. There's red on the wall. There's red on the what's it called? The Ar-Rahman post over there. So the point is, redness is a particular nature. When we see it, we recognize this is something red. Okay, so it's a general concept. Even though the shades of red are different, we still call all of them red, right? So that is what it means to be a general essence. It's something that can be generalized over many individuals, many persons that have that same kind of essence. Okay. Now, on the other hand, individual essence cannot be shared. That's one of the things about individual essence. It was makes a particular thing, what it is specifically. Okay, so is the identity of a thing, such that, see, I already told you, we have human nature, you have human nature, but my own human nature is not the same as your human nature. Okay, meaning I'm already personalized. I'm a person. If I'm a person, it's not just human nature. Is human nature draws me as a person, as an individual. So that is the individual essence. What makes me what I am, specifically me, is not the same as what makes you who you are, specifically you. Okay, so that is the difference between general essence and individual essence. Without this, we'll all just be the same. You know, without identity, it is the individual essence that makes us different from each other. And by the way, some people even question if there's even general essence. They question that, are we just making generalizations? Are we just saying, these guys, they look like each other, so we should call them humans? Are we just making that up in our heads? There are different positions people have taken on this, like Plato, Aristotle, and all these people, about general essence and individual essence. Okay, so me, I think the one that is more fundamental to me is the individual essence. The individual essence is already personalized. We've never witnessed any general essence out there on its own. We see general essence we look at a few individual persons, and then we come up with a concept to class all of them that these are of a particular kind, you know. So that is why, for example, set theory. You say, okay, I'm going to form a set of all animals with head. Okay, so that will be a very big set anyway. Or all animals with 4 legs. I'm going to form a set of this. So you group some like cats and goats. So you look at all the particulars that, okay, this guy has 4 legs, put him there. You know? So the point is that this is general. But specifically, each individual has his own essence. That's what makes them different persons. Okay, I hope you understand that. So that's general essence. What is the future of the general essence? General essence can be multiplied. It can be shared in many places. It can be, some people call it universals. Okay, it can be in many places at the same time. Okay, and then individual essence is identity. It's the individual essence of a particular person that cannot be shared. Okay, once you get that, now let's go back to the Trinity. They tell us that there are 3 persons and 1 being. 3 persons, okay, fine. 3 persons, they have their own individual essence. Okay, so if you want to choose a position that individual essence are the real stuff, that we look at what we do is that we see individual persons, and then we see that they are of a particular kind. So we call them one. So if I see 3 human beings or human persons, okay, let's start from here. I see 3 human persons. I see a dog. I'm like, okay, these guys, they're like, this guy is a human. This guy is a human. This guy is a human. These guys there's something about them that is one. They are different from the dog. So the dog has a particular general essence. The dog nature is not the same as human nature. Okay. Now, when we want to see each person, they also have their own individual essence, such that, let's say we take out the 2 guys that were there and remain 1 guy. He still has his own essence. Okay. It's not going to like disappear. But if all of them are gone, that's another question. If all the individual persons are gone, would we still have the general essence? Ask yourself that question. If all the dogs in the world are eliminated, would there be some dog nature somewhere? No. You see? So that is, it depends on the position you take anyway on this, but think about it. So the problem is that when you tell us that there are 3 persons, automatically, every person has a nature, has an individual essence. So we need to ask, what is that individual essence? If you now tell us it is something like divinity is not something separate from the persons. Divinity is part of the persons. Is what makes them what they are. We agree. But there's no person that doesn't have a nature. Every person has a particular nature or essence. So if you take the Father, you tell us the Father is not the Son, and the Son is not the Holy Spirit. That's the point. Once you make that distinction between them, then they don't have the same essence. In the sense that each one has personalized his own particular essence. Okay, so if there's something like divinity, okay, the nature that makes you God, if the Son possesses that fully, and the Father possesses that fully, and the Holy Spirit possesses that fully, then you have 3 gods. Okay, just like when we have human beings, you see 3 human persons, you don't call them one. One what? You can say they are one in the sense that, okay, they are a particular kind. Okay, they are like humanity, humanness. But you cannot call them one because they are different individuals. They are different persons. The same way in the Trinity. The moment you have three persons and each one has his own individual essence, then you don't have one God anymore. You have three gods. Now, some people, by the way, let me now tell you, if you choose general essence, if you say it's a general essence, when you say three persons and one being, if you say that one being is general, if that one being is general, that means it's shareable. It can be in many places. And you guys also say this, you say they are sharing the same nature. When you say they are sharing the same nature, if you take the position of the general essence, if they are sharing that, it's okay. They can share it, but you just have three gods straightforward. If you choose general essence, like humanity or something like this, you have three gods. There's no way around it because each one can have it fully without it being split up. Now, if you choose individual essence, we already said individual essence cannot be shared. Let's say a ghost or let me say a devil took my image and he appeared to you. It doesn't mean it's me. No one can have my own individual essence. No one else. That's what makes me, not you. Do you understand? So it's not shareable. We already said individual essence is not shareable. Now, if you now say the one being there is something like an individual essence, the problem will be that none of the persons can have it fully, even if we were to grant that. We already said it's not shareable. But if you want to say it can be shared, if it's going to be shared at all, the persons of the Trinity, they cannot be persons anymore. That's one. They cannot be persons because they will not be complete. They will not have it fully. The moment they have it fully, that's just general essence. The moment they don't have it fully, that means, and they are distinct. You see, remember, they are distinct. The moment they don't have it fully, that means none of them is fully God. Okay? Such that they are just parts that compose one God. So the Trinity will be the individual essence. It will be the real God. The Father will not be God. The Son. Then we can ask the question, how can three things that are not God come together to form one God? But at the end of the day, the Father will not be God, the Son will not be God, the Holy Spirit will not be God. If they are sharing one individual essence, because they can never have it fully. Only general essences can be had fully, and you will still maintain your individual person. That's why I always have a problem with, can a person, you cannot share an individual essence. For example, let me give you a good example. Is the Father the Son? Is the Son the Holy Spirit? Is the Father the Son? You say no, the Father is not the Son. Why? Why is the Father not the Son? Because the Father has a particular nature, the nature of being the Father, that cannot be had by the Son. That is an individual essence. The moment you say, no, they can have the same essence. It's just like telling me that the Son and the Holy Spirit can be the Father. They can have the Father, so they are all fathers. Do you see why it's problematic? You say no, they are distinct. Because you recognize that individual essences cannot be shared. So when the modelists tell you, or not even modelists are just another level. The level I'm talking about is even much more than that. The fact that no one can share the Father's essence, meaning the Father is the Father, no one else is the Father. The Son is not the Father. You say that specifically in the Trinity. So this will make you understand that, see, you guys are talking more about the general essence, which can be had fully by each of the persons. Even if there are more than 3, even if there are 10, as long as it's general essence like humanity, look how many humans we have. We keep giving birth to more. People die, people give birth to more. And there's all of them, each individual is fully human. Just like you say, they are fully gods. You see? Now, the next part of this is that if you take, I already told you, if you take the general sense, there are 3 gods. And guess what? Did I just make this up? I remember I read something about this tritheism objection that they have 3 gods in the Trinity is as old as anything. It's the oldest argument in the game against the Trinity. It's so old, okay? Since the fathers were coming up with this concept, people were telling them, bro, what are you talking about? So I remember one paper like this about Ablabius. He's a bishop, or I don't know. It was writing to one of the fathers that if we have 3 human persons, and then we have one human nature, why is it that we still call them 3? And we, in the case of the Trinity, we want to call them 1. Because it's the same. We have one divine nature and you have 3 divine persons. Just like you have 3 human persons and one human nature. Why is it that we call 3 human beings? And then in the case of in the case of the Trinity, you want to say they are one. So I think it's Gregory, one of the Cappadocian fathers anyway, Gregory of Nazianzus or Gregory of Nyssa, one of them, he replied to him and said, first of all, he said that it's wrong to say that there are 3 human beings. He said it's wrong to say that. In a way, it's trying to tell us that there's only one human being, in a way. But it doesn't make sense. Everyone knows that. That doesn't make sense. Imagine you say there's only one human being. No. There are 7 billion human beings, because each one of us is distinct from each other, and we have the general essence of humanity fully. That's why we say we are 7 billion human beings, not one human being, you see. But we can say humanity vaguely, in the sense that we class all of us together, but it doesn't mean we become one, okay, in any sense, okay. Now, so this question was put to him. This Ablabius guy was telling the father, like, see, we have 3 gods here. It doesn't make sense. Like, how can you say we have 3 human beings, and now when we have 3 gods, we are saying there's no 3 gods? So he tried to go around this, saying that they work together and all of that. I'll get into that in another video. But the point I want you to get is this: understand the meaning of general essence and understand the meaning of individual essence. General essence can be shared. It can be had, just like humanity. Human nature is in all of us. But individual essence cannot be had. The moment you tell me that the Father is fully God and the Son is fully God, and there's only one divine nature, it means that each one of them instantiates that nature fully. So each one of them is God. Okay? The moment you have that, there's no more one God anywhere. That one God that you're saying is vague. You can say they are one in action. They work together. All those things doesn't make them one God. It makes them 3 gods working together. You see? And all of that follows. So I don't want to make this too long. Just make sure you understand that, because after this, I'll bring more evidence to, or arguments to follow this one up. So if you like this video, share, subscribe, like, and if you have any questions whatsoever, put it in the comment section. If you have a way of going around it, if you're a Christian, tell me what you think about this, and what's your own position. Do you think it's general essence or individual essence? So with this, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.